Back on Sports 225. I'm at Sports 225 corporate headquarters, as you can see. I'm talking to Meghan O'Leary. She's in Princeton, New Jersey. She and her partner, Ellen Tomic, last week qualified for the Rio Olympics in rowing doubles scull. I think, did I say it all right?
Yeah, women's double scull. You got that.
That's good. So when we last left you, you were bouncing around the country. It wasn't even guaranteed that that big bump on the computer right there was my cat. I'll have you know. Go away. Television. So, but you guys last week in Tampa is where the Olympic qualifying was. I guess we can fast forward and take me to there because you made it perfectly clear there was no other boat that was going to Rio.
Yeah, we've been the incumbent women's double the past few years, but I think we still felt like we had something to prove. You go to the line and you want to win, of course, but you also want to throw down a really good race and show that we are undeniably and undoubtedly the fastest women's double in the country. So we had a great regatta. We kind of just paced ourselves through the first couple of races, and in that final, we let it all. We kind of put it all out on line and wanted to put together a great race. I think the margin was over 12 seconds to the next boat, and that is a substantial margin in rowing. And we're excited. I think we've shown some good speed, and we still got a lot of work to do, but we were pumped.
Well, I will have taken the liberty to have stolen some of your pictures that you sent along the way to put behind some of the things we're talking about. But when you do cross the finish line and when you win by 12 seconds in a sport where a hundredth of a second sometimes can matter so much, it must have been such a magnificent feeling for you guys at that point, because you had told me earlier that with USA Rowing, you could have qualified the boat in a close race, and then there might have been some variable there where maybe you wouldn't have been the people to go, but there was no doubt at that point.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We'd qualified the double the year before, and so felt like, hey, we earned this. This is ours. Like, we deserve this. And so there was a lot of energy and a lot of motion in that race, and crossing the finish line was, I think, just kind of this surge. It hits you, and first the realization that, okay, we've actually done it, and then it's just, I mean, I waited for Ellen. She always kind of chastises me for celebrating after a win. And I waited for her to throw her hands up, and I yelled and fist pumped and threw my hands in the water, and yeah, it was great. It was great.
So now be careful what you wish for. Now you're going to Rio, and you guys are legitimate medal contenders. There's no doubt, right?
Yeah, yes, we like to believe that. We're right up there with the top boats.
Yeah, and this isn't some sport like weightlifting where it's a foregone conclusion that the Eastern Europeans are going to win the medals. You just as easily could win the medals as not. That's got to be pretty cool, knowing that you're not just qualified and not a participant, but I mean, you're the real deal.
Yeah, that's huge. And, that's why people are, it's almost this, they're like, oh, you've made it. And I'm like, actually, no, not yet. Like, we're going to get a medal. First and foremost, of course, get to the games, but we firmly believe like we've got a shot. We've medaled at, we were just talking about every World Cup we've been to except one. We've had strong World Championship, performances. The women's double is so tight. The field, there'll be 12 boats there at the Olympics, but the field of 12 is literally separated by less than 3 seconds. And so it's anyone's ball game at the line. And we think that, we pace this right. We do these next few months, less than 100 days. We have a great shot at bringing home a gold medal, if not at least a medal.
Well, the timing of you qualifying was so cool because almost the next day was 100 days to Rio. So you went to New York for the Today Show. You were there with a lot of other Olympians in Los Angeles. They had a whole bunch of athletes gather out there. So there was a lot of publicity last week about 100 days to Rio. So that was exciting. It must have been cool for you to not only be with the Today Show, but see so many other big athletes. Did any of them have any recognition of what had happened with you?
Yeah, it was interesting because you get to talking to some of the athletes, and when I kind of share a little bit of my story, they're like, wait, what? I can't, wait, what? And so it's neat to kind of have that, just kind of have that interaction with some of the athletes, and then to have them kind of, I don't know, think that, what you've done is cool because you're looking at these athletes and following them and kind of thinking that, wow, they're amazing, and then kind of have them reciprocate a little bit. It was a really cool experience. I'd say the top experience was I got to chat it up with Gino Ariema, UConn women's basketball coach, and I was awestruck. I was a little bit of I was fanning out then, but it was really neat.
Well, it was one of the mistakes of his career was not recruiting you to play basketball coming out of
Right.
basketball.
That's right.
You're a good hoopster too. People,
Yeah. I told him that. I told him that.
He's done okay. But
Yeah.
your story is so remarkable in so many ways. And this isn't the time or place for you and me to get into it. But when after you medal and you come back to Baton Rouge to visit and you're in studio with me and I'm busting on you to write the book that I've been busting on you for 4 years because Meghan has overcome tremendous adversity, just like every other athlete, but her story is just so remarkably interesting. That's all, it's just so wonderful. So let's finish up with a couple of social issues, though, about Rio. There's the Zika virus, which is no small thing. And then the quality of the water in which your boat will be sitting and you rowing is grotesque. You must have thoughts about those two things.
Yeah, I mean, and I sit in bow. I'm kind of behind the stroke seat, and she splashes me quite a bit. So I get a lot of water in the eyes and the ears and the mouth. So this is a real issue. It's almost a foregone conclusion that someone is going to get sick at some point, probably. You just kind of cross your fingers since everyone's having to deal with it, that it's a little bit of a level playing field. We're taking the little precautions of we're getting all of our shots, and I've thought about do I need to wear goggles? But you prepare and you hope for the best and you trust that your NGB and the USOC, they're gonna do things to create the best experience for you and to allow you to perform to the best of your capability, and hopefully that a sickness or a virus won't take you out of your game, because it is, I mean, in rowing and in so many sports, but the smallest cold can throw you off, and when you need to be 100% and if you're 99%, you're not winning. So it's a big deal.
The goggles face mask thing might not be such a bad idea, but hey,
through a snorkel. So.
You and I have known each other a really long time. It was my pleasure to cover you and get to know you in high school, and then to keep up with you all these years. I was almost overcome myself when I, popped the scores, because you were bad about the last couple of days of the qualifying, of letting people know. She writes a great blog. Yeah, she does great social media, but she was dialed in. And when I saw the distance, and I went, holy shnikey, it was so cool. So I'm so glad that you took this time. It means a lot to me, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Like I said, I feel famous this week. I'm on the 225, so but no, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
That and the Today Show. That's Meghan O'Leary. She's going to Rio as the rowing Olympian. It's an awesome story. When I get back, another former Olympian, a baseball coach, Skip Bertman, more well known for what he did at LSU, will join me. I'm Lee Feinswag at Sports 225.